Welcome to another episode of the Doing Good Movement. I'm your host, Tom Brown. We're excited to bring some very special people to you today because we all could use a little positive TV. First up, I'm going to bring a very dear friend and a tremendous leader, Marty Janis, who's the president and CEO of Atlantic Services Group. While his business success is well documented, I sat down and talked to this gentleman about his heart and some of the impressions from his youth that led to some of the contributions he's still making today that's touched the lives of thousands of young people throughout the Washington, D.C. metro area. Next up, we show you how we hang out with community leaders, neighbors, friends, as we share a Thanksgiving and a holiday blessing with homeless families throughout Washington, D.C. at the Union Temple Baptist Church with the Village Keepers. Then later on, we slid on up the road, still staying in Southeast Washington and Ward 8, to the beautiful art facility that's on Mississippi Avenue, where we celebrated Dancing with the Scholars, a wonderful program that raises funds for scholarships for young people coming through various high schools in Washington, D.C. And last, we have a very special segment today as we're coming up on the one-year anniversary of the passing of what we call in D.C. the Mayor for Life, Marion S. Barry Jr. And hopefully you'll enjoy those pieces today because the Doing Good movement is ready to go. We're glad you tuned in.
I think that was good to say. I think something that Quincy does a very good job of, when we normally think of a shelter, it's a very cold environment. People are just coming in. You might get something to eat. You sleep for the night, and then you're up in the morning and you're out. But he's really created a home environment at Safe Haven. That's our immediate housing facility for homeless youth, ages 18 to 24.
How many does it hold?
36 beds.
Wow.
How many of those are moms and babies?
6 for moms and babies.
Oh, awesome. And music icon. So there's one identity that most people can easily find. But what I love about the interview and the things I learned is there's a whole nother beat that you're out here walking to. And actually you're leading a beat that's leading people to a legislative mindset around youth empowerment and a whole piece that deals with conflict resolution.
Yes.
And so that's a whole other identity. And what I love about it personally, being a Washingtonian, is it kind of takes the genre of go-go to another dimension in the way that we can serve our community. Nobody did it better than the Godfather, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Chuck Brown.
We also work with those who are entrepreneurs but still aren't being as productive as they should be.
Yeah.
And if we can help them be more productive, of course, that turns into more profit.
No doubt about it.
So
We all can use that.
Right. So we help them to turn that procrastination into productivity into profits.
Wow.
So
Hold up, procrastination to productivity to profits. Yeah, I like where you're going with that.
Yeah, so
the 3 P's.
The 3
Did you get that?
The 3 P's.
This segment is brought to you by Monument Enterprises, your complete facilities service provider with many maintenance solutions and one point of contact, offering property management, operations and maintenance, janitorial services, and much more.
Now I had a chance to sit down and have a whole lot of fun with a very dear friend, Marty Janis. He's the president and CEO of Atlantic Services Group, a company he's run for 20 years, and they do transportation, valet services, and many other great services throughout the D.C. metro area. But this gentleman is someone who, while all the successes he's experienced in business, he's never forgotten the lesson of his dad when he was just 10 years old. And that led him to a relationship with me and others like me, and his service and support for hundreds, if not thousands, of young people over the last couple of days. So the Doing Good movement finds us over here at Atlantic Services Group, the president and CEO and longtime friend, Marty Janis. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Tom.
Listen, man, you all hear what he said? The show is doing good, but he said he's doing great. We're all to a superstar already.
Start there, it can even get better.
So Marty, it's been a while. It's my first time in your new digs. But I want to know, how long you been in the parking industry?
30 years.
No way.
Yeah,
Well, actually,
30
years.
A little more than 30, but yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much 1985.
So how did it all come about? Was it just something you just woke up one day and said, I want to do parking, or was it something that you kind of?
It was a
got
life
introduced?
dream of mine to be in.
Wow.
No. I was in college, needed to get a job to make some money, to pay some rent, and found my way into Valley Parking.
Wow.
And I got an opportunity to do Valley Parking part-time, and it became a lot of fun. Had a lot of opportunity with it to do something. So looking forward to graduating, I was up at Georgetown,
Okay.
and looking forward to graduating, I could either get a real job or I could try something different and
Right.
do my own thing. And so I partnered with people that were in the garage business.
Okay.
Erwin Edlovich and Mark
Yes,
Sullivan.
yes.
Joined in with them and started Atlantic.
Well, and I know I recall our paths initially crossed. We were both in a program working with youth around youth entrepreneurship. So
Mhm.
certainly from your background, you had a lot of pedigree and experiences that I know that you shared. You had a lot of passion. And at that time, I remember, being over in Southeast Anacostia, spirits kind of locked in, and I wound up leaning on you and saying, listen, I want to really make a difference and impact in the streets, particularly over in Ward 7 and 8 where I'm from. And I was so appreciative of the fact that you got the vision about the same time that I got it, that I really could do something special, and went on to help me start Training Grounds, which is now 11 years old. I just remember all those beginning times, just coming to you for a check every 2 weeks, just trying to figure out.
Okay.
But I mean, we've since now touched thousands of lives through that movement, and there's a lot of people, a lot of young people who've gone on to school, people who have gainful employment. Some have come through here, Atlantic Services Group, through on-job training, and so it's just been a great experience. And I'm just wondering, from all the things you're busy with, family and business, how do you find time to just contribute to other people that you may not even meet? Where does that come from?
Well, a couple things. First of all, when you're in business and you have a business that does well, or however it does, you're very fortunate. So you have to remember how you get there and to get back. I grew up, and it's funny, my father once, this is where I got it, I was probably 10 years old, and he gave someone who was homeless lunch. And I said, why are you giving him food? And he said, but for the grace of God, there go I.
Wow.
When I was 10 years old, I never forgot that.
Yes.
And I just thought to myself, wow.
How cool is that?
And it stuck with me. And it's just something so that I made a decision young, and when I had an opportunity to do that, I would give back whatever that looked like. So when I didn't have money and I was 16 years old, I was a big brother to a young kid in Chicago. When I was in college, I would just literally go out on holidays and take $50 out of my Riggs bank account. And to throw in.
Wow,
and I would
that's a
just hand
throwback,
out
Riggs.
$5 to people that were out in the cold. So it was just, you do what you can do. And then probably the most important aspect of it is when you meet people like you who have that passion, you feed into it. And so when I met you when we were at Training Grounds, and you were a teacher and I was a donor and everything else on the board, is I saw that passion. And you pulled me in. And I wanted to be a part of it.
You've done some other really cool things that have nothing to do with Training Grounds, just humanity. I know working with foster children here in D.C. has been a big passion of yours. I always like how you would light up even our board meetings with how the great things that are happening there. Could you talk a little bit about doing more than one good thing, not just one good thing, but you kind of found your way to do more than one thing?
Well, so a lot of my interest in terms of giving back is around youth, as you've seen. And so years ago, probably about 10 or 11, 12 years ago, through Partners for, it was the DC Family Services Agency, they had a holiday toy drive. And so you adopt kids and you buy their gifts, their wish list, and you bring them to the agency, and they would distribute them to the kids. And I got to meet Beatrice Willier, who heads up the program.
Yes.
And Beatrice is another one with that passion that I was just pulled right into it because it's a governmental agency. Let's create this board and called Partners for Kids in Care. And it was this board of business, people in the business community gathering together to, it's not about money, it's goods and services. Well, that's an easy draw.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's asking everyone for a check. Now we're just asking, hey, if you're in the publishing business, do you have any books? You know, if you're in the furniture business, do you have any furniture that, you know, it's all the, you know, the damaged goods that you can't resell, but it's
And oftentimes
perfectly
those things go further than any check or money
Oh
for
my
people that are
gosh.
in dire
It
situations.
makes a huge difference.
No doubt about it.
So that's what pulled me into Partners for Kids in Care, and we've been doing that for it's like 10 years now. And it's been 10 years actually. The prom program or whatever it might be, it's making a difference for those kids that one day.
Yeah.
And you got to
Tremendous, isn't
Well,
it? That response you get to see. And
You do, when you see it in them, when you get some of the feedback from the kids, because you don't ask for it, you sometimes you
Right.
get it. Yeah, it makes a difference.
So how long have you been running? What's that about? Is something you grew up doing your whole life? Is
Well,
part of
so
it?
I used to play a lot of, I played baseball growing up,
Mhm.
but I played a lot of basketball for exercise.
Mhm.
And as you know, because you and I played basketball, yeah, it's going to come up. You and I played basketball.
Yes, we did.
So I'm going to be very careful to comment on your game, because my game isn't any better, so I'll just leave it at that. I played for a long time though, and that's where I got my head clearing, you know, just go out and play basketball. And
Mhm.
when kids came on board, you know, with three
Yeah.
wonderful kids, when I had the children, not so easy to get to the gym, but very easy
Yeah.
to go out and go for a run or go for a bike ride, or, you know, outside your house, that type of thing.
Well, listen, Marty, it's been great. I know you have a busy schedule. I just missed my friend, so it was great to come up here and hang out with you. This Doing Good movement is about the things that you and I have been working together on for about 15 more years, just making a positive impact in the world around us. And you're definitely somebody who's doing that. And I just want to tell you how much I appreciate everything and all the thousands of lives you've been committed to over the years. And I just want to tell you, man, keep on doing good.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Tom.
brother. Appreciate you, man.
No, thank
Appreciate
you.
all a lot.
Thank you.
No doubt.